Hi everyone. In some of your feedback, you've indicated that you've had a little bit of trouble with solving equations that have brackets in them and require use of the distributive property. So I thought I would do an example, maybe walking through it and hearing my voice and seeing it being done at the same time might help rather than just having to read it right off the page. So here's an example. You can see I've got two sets of brackets in it. We're going to apply the distributive property. We're actually going to have to do it twice in this question. The first time we'll have to do the distributive property is going to occur here, where I'm going to have to multiply this 4 into that set of brackets. So as you know, 4 times 3x is going to give you 12x. And then you're going to do the 4 times the negative 5, which is going to give you negative 20. In the second set of brackets, we're going to have to multiply or distribute this negative 3 into the set of brackets. So negative 3 times 2x is going to give you negative 6x. And then negative 3 times negative 1, remember that a negative times a negative is going to give you a positive, and 3 times 1 is going to give you 3. The remainder of the question will just be copied down. We can't do anything with that 5x just yet, but we do know that we're going to want to collect it with the other x's in our next step. So at this point, you have a choice to move all of the terms to the right side, like to the left side for the x's and to the right side for the constants, or you could kind of clean up what's happening on the left-hand side of your equation by collecting the like terms together first. This is actually my preferred way of doing things. I just find I'm less likely to make mistakes if I'm just keeping the terms on one side as much as I can and simplifying them there before I start moving things around. I find sometimes negatives and positives get mixed up in that process. So I'm going to simplify here first. So I'll begin by doing the 12x and the negative 6x. Those are going to have to get collected together. And the negative 20 and the positive 3 are going to get collected. So you can see I've done just like we used to do when we rearranged expressions. I've put the x's beside each other and I've put the numbers beside each other. Once again, I can't do anything with this 5x just yet, so I'm just going to copy it down. At this point, I can fix up what I've got going on in these simplified things that have been collected. So I can put together the 12x minus the 6x to give me 6x. And I can collect together the negative 20 and the positive 3 to get me negative 17. And again, I'm just copying down that 5x. There's nothing else that I can do with it until I get to my next line. In our next line, we're going to need to look at collecting the like terms onto each side of the equal sign. In this question, it's a good opportunity to move that 6x over to the other side because there's already a 5x here. So if we move the 6x over, we're just going to make it a little bit simpler. We'll have one less step of rearranging, or we'll only be moving one term instead of two. So if that's the case, what I'm going to wind up with is I will have negative 17 left on this side. I will have 5x on this side, and I will be bringing over that positive 6x, and when that moves across the equal sign, it will turn into a negative 6x. So from here, we're just going to simplify in our final steps. So 5x subtract 6x is going to give you negative x, and the negative 17 is already simplified. Now, the last step is going to be to realize that in front of that x, there's actually a negative 1. So to isolate that x, we're going to have to divide this by negative 1. And if we do it to that side, we have to do it to the other side, which means that we're going to be left with 17 is equal to x. So there you go. There's an example of how to use the distributive property to solve an equation. I hope that helped. Don't forget to reach out on the discussion board if you have any questions. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye.